I rode a railway branch line with a working museum at a station, the second largest brick-built structure in England, and 2 terminus stations which can't fit a 3-car train.
I am at Cambridge railway station. Now, in 1967, I could have hopped on a direct train to Sudbury and I'd have been there within about an hour. Now, it's going to take me 2.5 with 4 changes. Let's get a move on.
I soon boarded the first of many trains to head over to this baffling branch line.
So what does our route look like? Well, we're heading up to Ipswich from Cambridge, from which we'll be taking a train to Colchester on the Great Eastern Main Line, then we'll be going to Marks Tay on the Great Eastern Main Line, and then heading off on the Sudbury branch line, which is called the Gainsborough line.
Having duly changed at Ipswich, I was off to Colchester, but why?
We are heading down towards Marks Tay, which is the start of the Sudbury branch line, and it's on the Great Eastern Main Line. However, it's not as simple as that, because even though we are on the Intercity Class 745 train, which goes down that line, we have to get off at Colchester and then get on a stopping service from Colchester in order to get to Marks Tay. Fantastic stuff. I've just bought some Yorkshire tea, which is going to be delicious. And absolutely scalding.
As we arrived, I got off at
Colchester railway station, home to the longest platform in the UK. The train behind me is what I just came here on, and now I'm going to be changing onto another one, going to Marks Tay.
The train sped away from the station, which meant that I could enjoy the scenery for about 10 minutes.
So here I am on platform 3 at Colchester station, which is where I got off because my train was going to Liverpool Street. Now this one's going to Liverpool Street, but it's stopping at a bunch of stations, the first of which is Marks Tay. This is warm, this is nice, this is good.
The stopping service pulled in and then pulled out towards London.
And there goes my chariot, which has brought me here to Marks Tay, where the start of the Sudbury branch line begins. Now I'm going to have to wait quite a while for my train to Chappel and Wake's Colne. How do you say it? I don't know how you say it.
Indeed, Marks Tay is one of the termini of the Sudbury branch line, but also offers semi-fast services to Liverpool Street, Colchester Town and Ipswich.
So here I am on platform 3 at Marks Tay railway station. Over there is the very fast Great Eastern Main Line, and here is a little sliver of platform which is sort of curved at the end, which is home to the start of the Gainsborough line, which we'll be travelling on. It uses Class 755 diesel-electric locomotives, although the line is completely unelectrified, so there is never a chance for them to use their electric potential, and there's only one shuttling back and forth all day. So the train has now departed, heading off towards Chappel and Wake's Colne, and we're getting off.
Now that we were on board, my camera woman expertly explained the plan.
Here we are on the train to Sudbury, and we're getting off somewhere with a viaduct, so I'm excited for that.
We soon crossed over the villages of Chappel and Wake's Colne on the viaduct, which we would soon be having a closer look at. We got off the train at Chappel and Wake's Colne, where I pointed out the large variety of destinations from the station.
Sudbury Marks Tay, Sudbury Marks Tay.
The train soon departed, so we had a look around the fabulously decorated Chappel and Wake's Colne.
So there very much is a railway museum here at Chappel and Wake's Colne. However, it's only open on Wednesdays and weekends, and I'm here on a Monday. Silly me, but train over here and a couple of interesting carriages up on the platform.
We soon left the grand building in search of the famous viaduct, which wasn't too hard to find.
And this is the big one, the Chappel Viaduct, which carries the railway over the River Colne and the Colne Valley. It has got 7 million bricks in it, which makes it the second largest brick-built structure in the UK. This viaduct is a grade-listed structure, which means that it's going to be standing for many years to come. I guess that when Dr. Beeching decided to close this railway down, they decided to leave the viaduct just because of how cool it is.
This isn't strictly true. What happened was that in 1967, Dr. Beeching wanted to close many unprofitable lines across the UK to save money. The Stour Valley Railway, this one, was chosen as one to be axed, but after intense protest, the Minister of Transport agreed to a compromise. The Cambridge to Sudbury bit via Haverhill would go, but the Sudbury to Marks Tay line would stay open, although I'm sure the viaduct had something to do with it.
So this viaduct was originally planned to be built with timber. However, they found that at Mount Bures there was some clay, so they made it out of brick instead. The original viaduct was supposed to carry 2 tracks, however, it only carries 1 and continues to do so today.
After a jog back to the station on pavementless roads, we arrived back at Chappel and Wake's Colne.
As you can tell, we managed to make it onto the Greater Anglia train to Sudbury, which means that we are now going to be stopping at Bures.
The Essex countryside continued to pass us by, and before we knew it, we were getting off.
What a lovely little spot this is.
The train raced away, leaving us with a fabulous view of the village, a bin bag and a defibrillator.
This is a delightful one-platform little stop. I think it managed to fit just about all of the train in it. Good job, not like Marks Tey and Sudbury. I genuinely love Bures. I mean, it's a tiny one-platform stop, elevated above the road by a couple of meters, and it has just got the most delightful garden as well. I mean, there's flowers, leaves, you've got just about everything, a smorgasbord of nature at this station. Now, even though it is a very small station on a very small railway line which serves just 4 settlements, Bures was once made a request stop in 2017, and it was that way until 2019, so you had to genuinely put your arm out and hail a train, and this has all now been rectified and all trains stop here, whether you want them to or not. And never in my life have I seen such a precariously balanced station. I mean, that's it over there, and then there's the bridge. Never seen that before.
As another train arrived at the station, it was time to have a look around the village as I awaited the next service to Sudbury and contemplated counties.
That over there is Essex. There's a sign pointing to that. Over here is Suffolk. Does this mean that I'm currently in Sussex?
There was a lovely bridge and an even lovelier church. Before we knew it, the Sudbury-bound train arrived, which I decided to review.
So what is the type of train that we are travelling on? Well, it is a Greater Anglia Class 755, which they use for their regional routes and rural lines, which is sort of what we're on. So it's got some lovely seats, I couldn't complain about these, nice smooth ride, relatively new, and of course we've got level boarding, which is an absolutely fantastic addition, makes it very easy to get out and get in at these stations. Large panoramic windows for the scenery, I like it a lot, much better than the 156s that they were using not too long ago. So as you can see at Sudbury, the train does not fit into the entire platform, which is a shame, quite a lot like Marks Tey, which means that the 2 terminus stations of the line can't fit the whole train in, and the 2 intermediate ones can. Brilliant. Let's have a look at Sudbury before getting back on this train, because it's the same going back and forth.
But now it was time for the important questions.
So what is there at Sudbury? An Amazon box, bike racks, some buffers, a cheeky shelter, and many benches. Again, like all of the stations on the line, most of them anyway, Sudbury's got a lovely little garden. I mean, it's not quite Bures level, but it's nice.
But before I left this little station, it was time for some reminiscing about a past that I was not a part of.
So whilst once upon a time I could have travelled from Cambridge to here without any faff, I've had to do this with 4 changes, if we don't include all of my getting off at various stops on the line, which makes it far more complicated. The railway used to run through Haverhill, and people have been calling for its reopening on that section. However, it doesn't look like that's going to be happening anytime soon, and they are absolutely not looking to reinstate Haverhill to Sudbury as well, which means that it remains as an isolated, strange little branch line with a massive viaduct, former request stop, and 2 termini which can't fit the trains that they're supposed to fit.
I would like to add a big thank you to Greater Anglia for providing the tickets for the travel. Do check out this line if you can, it really is wonderful.